What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for part 2 of Marriage Medicine season 7. Let's get right into it. So they jumped into the whole thing about Jackie doing these events or whatever, trying to get the ladies together, her issues and her putting out apologies or whatever. I thought they was about to go into the uh what was the little podcast, open and honest shit, but it veered off into, why do you think that these situations aren't working with the ladies getting together and, just coming close or whatever. And she was like, I guess just everybody just going about their own path at this time, and we kind of like outgrew that shit. Because, Jackie has tried to be the little peacemaker. She's not the type of person that want to argue with everybody. But we've all said this, and they all made it a point, especially this season, to say every time you want to do one of these little things to get everybody together, and try to talk out their differences, it don't work, okay? Because look at where everybody's at. We still have to do these things each and every year, each and every season. And they get into the whole thing about the closeness between Jackie and Simone, how they're not as close, or the thing that Simone has said. Oh, had a piece of hair in my mouth. What the fuck? In the dressing room about their relationship, and the fact that it seems as though at first they tried to make it seem like Simone was not really trying to put Jackie in the middle between her and Heavenly, okay, and that's why she wasn't bringing a lot of stuff to her about Heavenly. But then in the dressing room, Simone made it clear, would you take sides with Heavenly after she said all the stuff that she said? And then it was brought up again on the actual stage at the reunion. And, at this point, once again, see, Heavenly, you about to get on my goddamn nerves, okay? You are getting on my nerves at this point. I'm going to be 100% honest, because I understand that, you want to get your thoughts out or whatever, but you can't be so combative with everybody that's trying to talk, okay? And if we can't get the points out and we can't get to where we need to go if you keep on interjecting, and every time you interject, the argument starts out, and this ain't what maturity is, okay? And this is what the reunion show is for, to get the issues out, put them on the table, let us speak, let the people that are being addressed speak, okay? Simone is trying to put out there, would you go and be the same way with Heavenly? Do you think that I would be cool with her ever the fuck again after the shit that she done said about my husband, the things that she said? Then here come Heavenly, bitch, you wrong, I can tell you all the ways that you wrong, show me why I was wrong, show me everything that was worse than this, and all this stuff, and all this woo woo woo. And I'm like, just be quiet and let them talk, because they're not talking to you. Yes, she brought your name up, but she's addressing Jackie, trying to get her opinion, trying to make an example, like if Toya did this and all this stuff, how would you feel? Would you still be cool with this and all this? She was like, basically, Jackie is trying to stay neutral, okay? And I understand where Jackie is coming from with the neutral stuff, because I can stay neutral whatever, but it does seem like Jackie, veers more so towards Heavenly in the situation, and I can understand how Simone sees it that way, all right? You just said some horrible things about my man, and shit that we already fucking knew, to be quite honest, because Simone, you just said it on the show. But you would want your friend to stick up and put the bitch in the place. That's what I guess Simone coming from. And because of the fact that Jackie and Simone has history, like they known each other the longest on this cast prior to this show even showing up, and then Heavenly just coming into the fray, and now y'all besties, and it seems like you on her side more so than anything. And that's what she's trying to get her point across, and Heavenly keeps on talking and talking. And it's like, even Andy got upset. Like, damn, we gonna keep on going back and forth for 20 fucking hours. Can we just get this through? And, at this point, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I get where Simone is coming from. Simone is coming from a place of hurt. And Heavenly feels like, your husband came at me, so therefore, if a man want to come at me, I got the right to come back at him, And at this point, whose side y'all on? Are y'all on Simone's side, or you on Heavenly's side? Which side? Because I do feel like if you got a problem with the husbands or whatever, The husband shouldn't be talking. If y'all want to follow y'all own rules or whatever, when you say the husband shouldn't be in the situations or to get into women's business, if they got an issue, address it to the wives. Let the wives present it to y'all, and y'all discuss the stuff. Other than that, y'all shouldn't have no interaction like that. But I mean, that's according to y'all rules. You know what I'm saying? It was just a fucking mess. I'm just sitting here like, damn. Can we calm down? Can we calm down? And what it seems like is, Simone wants Dr. Jackie to choose between her and Heavenly. That's what she told Andy. Even if that's not what she trying to say, that's what she's saying. Because she literally told Andy, who would you be besties with, Heavenly or me? As if you can't be besties with more than one person. Y'all do that shit all the time. Y'all get multiple besties and shit like that, or close best friends or whatever. First of all, saying besties sounds so childish, but okay. Good friends, best friends, good friends, stuff like that. And to hear Simone say, we not that close and our relationship ain't the same and all this stuff, to see them go down the road that they're going down and to let something like this to affect them, knowing that Jackie tries to stay mutual, or I should say neutral, I should say, but you know, I feel where Simone is coming from. She want her to acknowledge the fact that yes, this bitch is your friend. This girl is your friend, but she has said some hurtful things, and I try to keep it away from you. But you have to admit that she has said some hurtful things that could be hurtful to me, and done some things that I can be perceived as hurtful to me. I just want you to acknowledge that. All right. And to see that them go through that, sometimes friends go through the shit. And that's why I was here for what the men said in the back. Um, like Eugene said, they're used to their friendship being one way. Now it's just going a different path at this point. And Curtis said, it's not as broken as it may seem. They will be able to fix it. And for Simone to say, there is no fix, and she was telling the truth. There is no fix. She didn't come there for a fix right now because she's still living in the hurt. Okay. And when Andy was like, you're saying it's cool, it's cool, it's cool, it's whatever, but then you up here crying and all this stuff, you want to fix it. You can't say that, it's because she's hurt. Okay. They're both hurt by the way that the relationship has gone. Sometimes friends, no matter how close you are, you sometimes grow apart. You sometimes don't get on the same path. You lose the path that you're on. And it's up to y'all, especially if you got history together, if you got years together, if you got love together, that you want to, an experience together, if you want to fix that, if you want to get back and do what you need to do to get back on path, if you want to salvage that relationship. And that's what we see going on with Simone and Jackie. Do y'all feel like Simone really wanted Jackie to pick sides, and do you think that's fair or whatever, or do you just think that she wanted her to acknowledge the fact that this thing that this girl has said has hurt me? You know what I'm saying? Is that what it is? And I do appreciate the fact that, at the end of all their bickering, they needed to have that moment to get everything out on the table, because they have not been speaking. They have not gone on trips together like they usually done. They have not done their studying together or whatever. It's been awkward situations. They been uncomfortable together, and to actually see them come together, get all of that out, get all that anger, that frustration, that pain out, and then to get up and hug and to literally say, I love you, I will never, block you, whatever, we're gonna fix this. That's all that we needed. If that's what we had to go through, sometimes you got to go through that pain and that hurt to get back on track. And that's what it seemed like happened with them. So y'all tell me y'all thoughts on that whole situation. Girl, if I was Heavenly, I'd feel some type of way like, damn, I'm really breaking up friendships and shit. God damn. Woo! That was a lot. I didn't expect that to happen. I really didn't. Simone and Jackie, of all people? Mm-mm. So then we get into this tired ass Quad and Mariah beef, okay? And let me be clear. I am tired of both of them in this beef. At the end of the day, you don't get along. You guys are not friends. Why do y'all keep on bringing the stuff up on each other? And I'm not picking out which one. I'm saying both, okay? Because they both react off of each other. One react off of this one, and this one react off the other one, okay? And at the end of the day, we get it. After 6 fucking seasons, we know that you guys are not friends, and it's too much hurt that has gone through, and it's too much that has been said. You guys, I can never see them being friends again. And if they ever was to come back and be friends, I would never believe that shit. I'd be like, somebody trying to do do something to somebody, because I just don't believe it. They get into the whole thing about, the cocaine allegations or whatever, the whole saying that, Mariah said Quad did an article. She was saying that she did not, she saw her actually do the drugs, okay? And when she did the drug test, it was a planned drug test. I said most of them are. She was supposed to do a pop-up drug test, or somebody was to come over there and say, okay, bitch, it's time for you to do a drug test. She wasn't on probation. She wasn't just getting out of jail. So why would it be a surprise drug test? And even then, it still would have showed up that something was in her system regardless. If it depended on the type of drug test that she did, it would have showed that something was in her system, even if she would have just did something the week or so ago. You know what I'm saying? So, I was confused by that, Quiet. But then you say, Mariah said she did this whole test about, did this whole article, saying that at one point Mariah showed up to work, and she had cocaine residue on her nose, and people was concerned about her and the kids. The producers was concerned about her and the kids. Now that part I really don't believe. Okay, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't believe, because given how we see Mariah and how she steps out or whatever, and being around her family or whatever that we seen on the show, I don't think she would be that careless, okay? And I mean, I can be naive saying that, because people that have drug habits, they can do that and be careless at one point in time, but I just don't see that happening. I really don't, because a slip up would have been happening again. You know what I'm saying? Like, something about this story, the stories are not adding up. That's why it's like, who to believe? Because Quad is so adamant that she saw this girl years ago. Now, and when you say years ago, what is the years ago? Is it like 10 years ago, 8 years ago? What is it that you actually saw this? Okay. And if it was like 10 years ago or whatever, maybe that test wouldn't pick up the fact that, she did drugs, or that is still up in her system because it's flushed out of her system. Maybe that time that you allegedly saw her, do these drugs, it was just a one-time thing, or could have been a two-time thing. That doesn't constitute her having an actual problem or whatever. So I'm just confused about the whole thing at this point. We're not getting down to the bottom of what it's a bunch of she say shit. Okay, this person accusing this person of this, and Mariah was getting under Quad's skin, because Quad was giving all her theatrics and her dramatics, and Mariah was just real kind of cool with it. Okay, and I said she probably learned that shit from last season, because she gave Quad exactly what she wanted last season when she got upset, and she was all upset, and it was going back and forth, and now Quad ain't getting that same reaction right now. Okay, but at the same time, I'm just sitting here like, this is dumb. And then a viewer did ask the question that I've been saying in my stance as well, will forever be, why did you get so upset at the fact that Jackie repeated something, and not at the fact that, Quad is the one that actually said the allegations? And all that it comes down to is because she holds Jackie at a higher standard, and because she didn't say alleged. That's it. And I was like, I can give you that. Because that's what a lot of people were saying in the comments. She should have said alleged, and I will agree with y'all. She should have said alleged, and truth be told, like I said when it first happened, they didn't have to bring it up. But, like, they showed some unseen footage. They, was editing the shit wrong to make it seem like she was just trying to be messy. But, as I said again, she didn't have to bring it up, but she did, and she wasn't, you wasn't coming down so hard on Quad or whatever, when she the one that actually made the allegation at the I ain't even gonna say allegation. She made an accusation at the reunion or whatever. But Mariah just wants the girls to come to her defense and to be like, for sure that I never would have done some stuff like this. And even Jackie said, knowing the Mariah that I know, I've never seen her do anything like that. So I can't tell, what went on between them two. That's not my business at this point. Okay. And the other girls said the same thing. Like, they never seen the whole thing happen. And like I said, people will show you the faces that they want to show you. And at the end of the day, it's just so ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Then they get into the allegations about the being with Lake. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I just belched on camera. Excuse me. Lake husband and a police report. I said a police report. It was like things was being said and you doing this, and it was just a mess. And I'm just sitting here like, we really about to go in on this again? Like, it is tiring. How much can we talk about this? And like Toya said, Mariah was trying to say, listen, girl, I wish you well. It is what it is, okay? And I wish that as soon as she said that part, God be with you, I wish you well, and all that shit, I wish that would have been the end of it. But of course, it's gonna keep going and it's gonna keep going. They carry on this conversation about Quiet and Mariah and this situation, and the whole who telling the truth about this. Nobody believes either one of them, okay? Because at the end of this whole thing, Andy had asked who believes the allegation about, what Quiet said against Mariah. Nobody really raised their hands or said anything. Nobody, and he asked the same thing about this whole allegation with Lake. And nobody believed that, said they believed that either. And when it came to the Lake situation, Mariah was trying to say that she didn't bring it up, but girl, you did bring it up at the reunion. We wouldn't have known had you not brought it up at the reunion, okay? And Contessa kept on, listen, if I got on Heavenly's ass for kept on interjecting when they not talking to them, Contessa, you should have shut the fuck up because everybody else was sitting back and letting them duke it out or whatever until Andy asked them a question. Toya said something when Andy asked her a question. Contessa kept on, putting her 2 cents in. You did say it. I was like, we get it. I'm pretty sure somebody was going to say it when they was asked, but, to be truth be told, Mariah, technically speaking, you brought up the allegation about, Quiet sleeping with Lake's husband at the reunion last year. The same time when she brought up the allegation or the accusation about you and your supposed or alleged drug habit. You know what I'm saying? So that was that. They said that she did bring, Lake for protection or for to be her, because that was what she had because she felt like she didn't have nobody in the group. See, we already confirmed that. We knew that. That's what it was, okay? And basically, they did get something. They said, a viewer said, Quad or Contessa and Heavenly, y'all say that Quiet doesn't lie, but yet when Lisa Nicole was on there, she had that guy come up there and say that he was sleeping with Dr. Darren. Bitch, that brought back when they put that clip up, girl, they brought back so many memories. Let me tell you something. I ain't even gonna lie. I kind of miss Lisa Nicole, okay? Lisa Nicole and Darren, because I used to love doing their voices, bitch. They brought some character to the show. They was something else on some bullshit. That was back when the show was really good, okay? The show was really good when they was on there. I just don't know what to say. And Darren, when he did this, and he just cheated on me. And, girl, let me stop. But, they said that she lied about that. And she was like, listen, bitch, that was an open event. I had no problem or no issue or no dealings of who came in there, who had what to say about who. That was what he said, and it didn't have nothing to do with me, okay? I didn't put that in the foyer or whatever. Girl, it is what it is about that whole situation. It could be a possibility that they both lying on each other just to try to one up each other. It could be a possibility that they both telling the truth. At this point, I don't know, and I'm pretty sure that we don't care. Okay. And but Lisa Nicole sent in a message saying, how does this feel, Karma? You up here talking about my husband and how, we would want to be divorced and he's cheating on me and all this stuff, and look at you divorced now and all this shit. She said, oh no, baby. The fact of the matter is I did what you too scared to do, and that's divorce minds, okay? And I said, well, she got a point right there, because your shit played out. He cheated on your ass multiple times, okay? And I wouldn't be surprised if Dr. Darren did some more shit. You know what I'm saying? And she's still with the man. So, hey, it is what it is. They get off of that, and I was so thankful that, they tried to change the subject from there, because it's just tiring. I just want them to let it go. Let it go. Like Elsa said, bitch. Just let the shit go. Because we're getting nowhere. And it's like each and every time that they bring up the situation between Quiet and Mariah, it gets nastier and nastier and nastier. Did you hear when Quiet was like, basically, I can bring up some more shit? I was sitting here like, no, please don't do that. Okay? Please don't do that. We don't, we ain't got time for that. Because at this point, it seems very much vindictive. Like, you've been sitting on this information, and I'm talking about both of them. Y'all been sitting on information, and then y'all wait till y'all get to this point years later to want to put it out there and to hurt the other. Like, it just, I don't like shit like that. They talk about the low blows that been thrown, heavily shading Quiet ass, and of course, Quiet said she ain't never had no surgery or nothing done. Some of the girls on the cast have, they had their things done, whatever, for medical reasons or personal reasons or whatever. Simone ain't never had an ass, she ain't never had no problem with that. What else was being said? Toya, they were talking about how Toya said they could be nasty to each other behind their backs, but then be like, "Hey, girl, what's good?" And it was like, "Yeah, we be nasty to each other to their faces and stuff like that, or whatever." That little segment, it broke up all that bullshit that was going on prior, so it was cute. They asked Cecil, because they bring the men on. They asking Cecil. I'm glad that they do like the separate. So I guess the third part is gonna have everybody together, and that's when we're gonna really get into some drama, because we still haven't. I don't think we have talked about the Scott and Contessa shit yet. But they talked about is Cecil and them, the boys doing what they supposed to be doing with Simone and the rules or whatever. Of course not. Dr. Scott, he's supposed to be an old school rapper or whatever, girl. He tried to bust a freestyle. I said, is he freestyling? I didn't know that he was until they said. I had to rewind. And I was like, oh, so he was supposed to be freestyling, because it just sounded like he was talking and saying some nonsense, okay? Asking the men, are they on social media? Is people sliding up in their DMs and stuff like that? And of course, Curtis said, no, he ain't on social media. Your ass don't need to be quite honest. Okay. And he goes, Cecil, I mean, the ladies been coming up onto us even before the show. I mean, a little bit more now, but not as much before the show, but they still been coming up. I don't say nothing, though. He had to say that. I said, all right, Cecil, throw that out there. I see you. So then, they asked about Cecil going out with Greg and how he feels about, do he have a beautiful girlfriend and all that stuff or whatever. And of course, he said, yeah, we get to golf a lot, and he still talks about Quiet a lot. That was what was said each time that they brought up Greg, that he still talks about Quiet with sincerity, regardless of the fact that they're divorced now. He's still like in love with her, probably. And sometimes that's what it shows. Like, you don't miss what you had until it's gone. All right. And then Quiet back there crying and stuff. What irked me about that scene with Quiet, I don't know. Like, for some reason, Contessa just is bothering me. Her actions, and it just seems like she wants to be the one that be like, if something's going on, let me take care of it. Okay? Quiet gets up, Simone gets her some tissue or whatever. That's who she asks for the tissue. And then Contessa gets up and makes her way over there to hug Quiet and be the one. Like, it just, and she's been doing this ever since she's got on this show. And that has always been my issue with her. Like, girl, you're doing a lot. But I get it, but you're doing a lot, okay? Moving on from that. They was asking, is it one thing that, because the ladies are always talking about, their open books and always talking about what they will and won't do, and nothing's off subject. Is it something that you wish that they wouldn't be talking about? And then Eugene said, Toya up here talking about she the notorious vag or whatever. She ain't nothing like that. Our sex life is cool or whatever. She ain't hanging off chandeliers and shit like that. It's normal, okay? She a lot of talk. That's what it is. Then they get into the Cabo trip, baby. Girl, they was acting Dr. Damon. They was like, baby, why was everybody all up on you, okay? Why was everybody all up on you? Dr. Heavily back there, she think the shit was a setup. And she was like, I want you to smile again. Come out there. And they was like, leave that man alone, okay? You not about to do nothing. Let him do what he gonna do. And it was like, did you like it or whatever? They said he like Teddy Pendergrass up in here, like a big old teddy bear. They don't call him daddy for nothing. And so it was like, did you like the women being all up on you or whatever? He said, no, not necessarily. And he said, no, I really don't. And then here go Andy. Why? Because the cameras was there? Bitch, I said, answer the question, Damon. Child, the men up there talking about, the Cabo trip or whatever. And Damon said, no, it wasn't because the cameras was there. It's because, I'm a really laid back and quiet guy. And I don't like all that attention. I just do the same thing every day. I come home, I go to work, I come home, and I be with her and the kids. That's it. and, that was funny. Okay, so they get out there talking about the sipping paint. Eugene, you knew what was going to happen. He was like, no, I knew it was a sipping paint type of thing. I didn't know that the men was going to be out there doing all the shit that they was doing, okay? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, Curtis said, I didn't really like it because I knew how my wife was. She'd probably be uncomfortable. They was like, did she seem uncomfortable? Jackie ain't seen no damn uncomfortable. She was here for it. He said yes. They was like, bitch, you up here being a Mitch, okay? And then speaking of Mitches, okay? They was like, this whole situation about being a Mitch and what's the definition? Because if you would ask, Eugene, since Contessa called you a big ass bitch, what's the definition of a big ass bitch? He said, I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Contessa. Now, see, at this point, it was like, what was your reaction to it? He said the same reaction that I have now. It was funny, like whatever. And then they said, Cecil, you said that y'all Mitches. What is a Mitch? I said, a Mitch ain't no better than a bitch. You just called yourself a male bitch. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so, girl, backstage, of course, backstage, you got the women sitting back there. And then they was laughing, and I don't know if Heavenly said yeah he being bitch or what he said was some bitch assness or something like that. Then Simone and Heavenly get into it talking about some, we gonna have to drag this out, okay? Because I could drag Damon. You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do that. And woo woo woo. You ain't gonna call my man no bitch, okay? Girl code's gonna have to go out the window right about now. Defamation of character, okay? And you up here lying. What the fuck I lied about? What the fuck I lied about? Talking about something. My husband always drunk and he be out there drunk with Damon, bitch. He was like, bitch, fuck you. No, fuck you, bitch. I said, hold up. What's going on? And for once, I was here for Contessa getting her ass up and pulling Heavily up out that bitch, okay? Because they was about to go at it. I'm sitting here like, wow, that's what we really gonna do. And that's how the second part ended. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. I'm surprised I made it through with the energy that I still have, because that was one of my biggest concern. But y'all tell me how y'all like these two parts, and I will see you guys later. Peace.